My name is Erica, and welcome to this episode of Tried and True. Our players today will be facing off using the 2021-2022 Steamroller Rules Scenario 6, Recon 2. We have a classic Minion vs. Mercs matchup today. Returning to the channel is Gatorman Pete, also known as Pete. Please tell us who you brought today.
Hey, so today I'm bringing who I consider my absolute favorite caster is Jaga-Jaga. Our first episode had a reference to a caster as being a turd polisher, and Jaga is definitely one of those. She doesn't have much of a feat to speak of, but she just casts Signs of Importance every turn, so bad things become good and good things become great, which just gives you a lot of freedom with what to bring, and you can bring a lot of super fun stuff, so I love her.
In our special matchup today, we have newcomer to the channel and amazing studio quality painter Mike. Please introduce yourself and talk to us about your army.
Hey there folks, this is Mike. I am playing Magnus the Warlord today, Magnus 2. Let's see, he's one of my favorite casters. I enjoy him a whole lot. Today with his the army he brought was a pair of Manglers, a Renegade, because Magnus, he gets arc nodes, you might as well use them. There's also a Rover and a Talon, so I went fairly battle group heavy today. I also, for infantry units, I have Boom Howler 1 and Selena and the Nis Hunters, both maxed out units. And then I brought a bevy of solos, because it's a Merc army, that's what you always do. I have Alton Ashley, I have Ragman, Gaston with a Buccaneer, also Ailish Garrity the Occultist, Savio Acosta.
Can the Warlord Mercenary outwit the Death Charmer Gator in today's battle? Let's get to the table and roll off.
Alright, and we're out of the gates.
Indeed.
We start. I won the. I forget if I won the roll off or if you did and I went first. But either way,
I feel like I won and made. Yeah, I feel like I made you go first. Yeah. I think.
So
if I remember right.
Alton Ashley scares me. So one of the first things I do is I walk up with Des and Gubbin. One of my favorite opening moves is just to do a little scatter and hope it messes some stuff up. There was one time that I mini-feeded top of first and killed a Dahlia and Scarith immediately.
No.
And ever since then, it's just my go-to
that worked
move.
Out well.
But I don't think it paid off for me this time. But there's almost no downside. Her range is so long that she doesn't have to move up the board too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I run some primals up. I like primals with Jaga because when I do use her feat, it's basically like the Gatorman Witch Doctor. She sacrifices something and does its base armor as an auto-hitting POW to something in 5 inches. And those primals have an armor 19, which is a big hit, especially because she can boost it. So she can almost take a battle engine off the board with that if she rolls high enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good move.
The internet groupthink says that the primals are kind of not awesome or whatever, but I think they're crazy. I think those are great pieces.
They're just not offensive. You've got the Death Archons, you've got the Menite Archons, you've got the Thalmite Archons, and compared to them, the primal just doesn't have like it can't wreck a heavy.
I guess if they're not killing the world, it's like
But like
right.
They can survive a heavy as an 8-point solo. They're not bad.
Yeah, pretty legit.
So now I'm on Meyer here. So Meyer, I bring him for the Blackhide Wrestler there because he is a Toon Spirit, so he just gets to pop out a couple rages. He's also got some clouds he can put on the board. But what I just put out is he's got a spell called Wield Secrets, which ignores cover and concealment. So he pops that on Scythe, who's a fairly new model for me. I only picked her up recently. And then she just, that plus Signs of Importance from Jaga, Scythe just wrecks house.
Yeah, pretty much. She just does normally, but like Signs of Importance just cranks it up, So,
and that's that's Jaga. Everything becomes better.
Pretty much.
The good things become great, and the great things become absolutely bonkers.
Out of sight. Yeah. All right. Clearly going back in the tank there for a little bit.
Oh yeah. All right, so I got my second lesser over here. Barnabas is going to go up. He's got Battle Host just like Jaga. He kind of speeds all his beasts up, but he does run the Swamp Horror a little better. He still benefits from Signs of Importance, so there's really no loss other than the loss of Death Rage for putting on a lesser there, and it frees up a little bit of Fury for Jaga there.
your army in general is kind of like swimming in lessers, honestly. Like, would you have like at least 2?
Yeah, I've got 2.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of minions. You know, we've got a lot of ragtag dudes. I think if I really wanted to, I could field 5 of them.
Yeah,
and
I have no doubt.
The theme I'm playing in will work for food. Back, I forget if it was on Mark III or early Mark III, they changed it up. It used to have some speed and deployment bonuses, and they wiped all that away, and now lesser warlocks get to maintain their upkeeps for free.
Yeah, right.
Which,
yeah,
you know,
it's a pretty cool bonus.
I mean, if you've only got 4 fury, having an extra fury all game is pretty big for them.
Oh yeah,
all right.
For sure.
Now it's all you.
Oh, here I go. Yeah, this is when I access my like Sun Tzu General Patton level tactics, you know, and I marshal all my tactical forces, and I think basically just put Bullet Dodger on Savio and cast Escort and push some figs forward. So, you know, that's
and I spend most of your turn
pretty much what's happening,
drooling over your models. I
yeah.
don't know if our viewers can see it on the video, but your Nis Hunters and your Boom Howlers there are fully converted from other Privateer Press models.
Right, yeah. I should have mentioned that, actually. They look slightly different. I think the Boom Howlers are made out of the Blunderbuss guys from Trollkin, and the Nis Hunters are made from, like, Legion Swordsmen or something.
Yeah.
So, but, you know,
they came
so
out
it's a little bit
fantastic.
different. No, well, thank you. Right. There's Gaston and his tethered buccaneer there moving up. Boomhowler doing what Boomhowler does, just kind of like run out and get in the way and be obnoxious.
And I believe you use that fell call that makes them continue to have tough when they're knocked down, correct?
Yeah. The tough while knocked down call. I don't actually know what it's called. Call of Defiance.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Totally knew it.
Not quite
Call
no
of Defiance.
knockdown tough, but almost as good.
Exactly.
All right, now here's the moment I
there's
dreaded. Alton Ashley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He pulls out his big gun, loads it up with gator killing bullets.
He did a pretty. I feel like I did a pretty serious shot on this one, actually, if I remember right.
I think your base hit did like 3, and then he's got that auto damage. Let's see what it does.
Yeah.
So 5 plus 3. So he
not too shabby.
He did like 10, 11 damage to my armor 20 gator there, which is
yeah. Oh yeah.
Almost took out a complete arc, but you did miss his tiny gator mind. The gator models,
right?
They're 5.
Not sure how that happened. Yeah, right. Oh, there's the rover. This, I think, is the very first time I ever played the rover. Not a very common jack in my stable, but you know, Magnus likes a heavy and he likes a shield guard, so figured why not give it a shot.
Nothing wrong with a shield guard with a decent gun and a decent melee attack.
Yeah, exactly. Magnus is a pretty cool caster. You can kind of go like, you can play him jack heavy, you can play him infantry heavy. This one was kind of like a mix of both. That's kind of where I like to see him.
Anything loves that feat he has. It's just
exactly.
It's so powerful. It's hard to work around unless you have something like DK.
Yeah,
especially into
plus he's got
like a melee focused army like mine. It's very powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Calamity fixes a lot of problems and other things like that. So yeah, it works pretty good. There's some Nis Hunters on the edge moving up. I think I was taking some pot shots at your primal there. You got to start softening those guys up at some point because they just have they take a lot of killing.
I also really appreciate how you had them half in the crater there and half out. So if I do hit them with a blast, there's no way I'm getting the whole thing.
Yeah. It's good to kind of make the opponent make decisions like that sometimes, or force the opponent to do that, whatever. Ooh, was that boxcars I rolled? Check that out. Not too shabby. Some manglers going up. Love manglers with Magnus too. Just like free charges with reach and thresher is, it's a whole lot of cool stuff.
Although I do think that movement comes back to bite you later. because that crater
probably
is rough terrain. Now that Magnus is sitting right behind it.
Exactly.
I don't think either of us realized that at the time.
Yeah, honestly, the terrain was not helping me too much in this particular game. I probably would have been better to choose the opposite side than what I had. That building caused a lot of problems, where you could see kind of in the zone right there. It was difficult to kind of work around. It's still in the zone for you as well, but you can clearly see you have like way more real estate to play with, open real estate to play with on there. And then, of course, like you say, the difficult terrain. So... but that's okay.
Although at my turn here, I'm realizing that all of your stuff is basically out of range. I'm not getting an alpha on you.
Right.
So I'm kind of trying to figure out, what can I put up front that can weather the storm that is, a rover and a mangler and all of that.
Right.
So this primal there, I've got Jaga does have one upkeep buff spell other than her battle host. It's called Gravewind. It's a +2 defense bonus with Poltergeist, so if something misses, they get pushed back a D3. So, defense 14 isn't incredible, but, you go up with a jack, you don't boost because you think you got 14. If you miss, that's the end of that for the jack.
I mean, 14 you'll miss against a 14.
If you got a mat 6, mat 7, that's a risk.
Yeah, right.
It'll miss when you don't need it to, and it'll hit when you really need it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to count on.
All right, so I do have those boom howlers kind of worry me because they're it's hard to play into tough sometimes, but I do have my Void Archon over here, so that proxy's sitting there measuring. If I can spray some, and it has that anti-tough aura, but that aura is only 5 inches, so I think when I'm putting him, only one of them's in the aura, and it's not even one that I'm going to end up spraying just because of the numbers I can get. But that spray 10 is really nice. All right.
What did it used to be before they toned it down? I know it was higher than that.
I think it was a full 10 or something, like all the anti-soul auras. All right, so Des and Gubbin are coming in. They're trying to take Alton off the board because he scares me. It does miss. It does scatter. I think it scatters out of the thing an inch. So it's out of the crater. It's not hitting him. It's taken out a couple Nis.
You slaughtered some Nis on that one.
I did. Also, it's a second scatter. So here comes that second scatter. Picking the point. And... oh, no, that's damage. She mini-feeded this turn. So she's got Signs Important. She's got the boosted blast damage rolls. Bunch of Nis turned into a fine mist.
Yeah, blasted like half the unit off or something.
Yeah,
just about.
Here comes the second deviation. Yeah, 3 to 2, right back into the crater. Bye, Alton.
So,
huge sigh of relief to me. My Gator could not have survived a second hit.
I'm sure I don't know why. It's a sigh of relief.
The damage is hard, but the Grievous is what really scares me.
Yes.
With him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Then, you got a whole arc out. Especially on, a Fury 3 beast like my Swamp Horror there. If he's got a boost to hit on all his attacks, that's rough.
Yep, for sure.
So this Primal here charges in. He tries to scrap your Jack there. I don't think he quite makes it, but he leaves it on.
No. My Jack hangs in a little bit, but he gets banged up pretty bad. Like, okay, a lot bad. So.
Oh, 2 boxes.
Yep,
there it goes.
That's right. He had like a Cortex and a sword left or something, or his weapon. He's like ready to go.
Yeah, but it's the spear. He's got that sharp point ready for next turn to get some revenge.
Exactly.
All right, here comes Scythe. We're measuring that Signs Importance range. And that proxy down. She's gonna slaughter some of her own people because Everblight was not enough.
Apparently not.
I think she has a couple misses in there though.
Yeah, I weathered that storm a little bit good. I think I only lost 2, maybe.
Only 1.
No, check it out.
But it was enough for her to get to safety. She's got to kill one to trigger that.
Got the repo.
End movement.
Yeah.
Running gun, I think, is the rule.
Oh, right. Yeah, indeed.
Repo you could use if you miss. Running gun, you
just
gotta
anytime.
Kill something.
Right.
All right, my scout comes up. He shoots the jack. You've got that renegade there, so I get to pick the column. I hit it. I'm trying to take out that once per game arm because I don't want that to hit something in the wrong spot.
Yeah. With that, you're kind of like, he can still shoot it. With that, you're kind of not necessarily looking for the damage. It's mostly the auto knockdown for that one, which can't be really taken out.
And it still auto knockdowns, even if it's not a direct hit, unlike a Quake attack.
Yeah,
right?
like, exactly. And even if it drifts, it still knocks down what's under the template.
All right, here comes that Void Archon.
Ugh, right.
I
hate that stupid thing.
Gonna collect a few souls.
Doing his Void Archon thing.
Oh yeah, rolling pretty good on the hits. No tough.
Got it. Yeah, I got a few toughs in here.
Yeah, about 50-50. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was happy. Boomhowler's essentially just a chaff unit, so anytime you can not lose anything that gets pointed at it, you're kind of doing all right.
Trying to figure out where the safest spot for him is.
Right, yeah.
They got those guns. He's defense 14, but you get a whole unit of guns on him. He's still going to go down.
Yeah. If they can get within 5, they actually have a chance of hitting stuff. It didn't used to be that way.
So now my Swamp Horror comes up. He hides behind the building there because Jaga does have Ghostly. And with Battle Host, it can just walk 6 inches right through the building and start eating stuff. So he's hiding. He's pretty safe. He's like a squid hiding in a rock. He's just waiting.
I think I remembered that he was there approximately half the time that we were playing, and then sort of just forgot about him the rest because that building's pretty tall.
Yeah,
it's like he kind of just hunkered down there.
We do have a template under. We probably could have lifted it up.
Probably. I liked it. It looks cool. It was just my bad.
All right, I position a couple shield guards. I had my second primal up there in the Trents as a sort of front line, hoping he can take a couple hits.
Yep.
Got my Soul Slave moves up.
Yep.
Barnabas and his pet squid moves up. The 4-inch reach the Swamp Horrors have, along with the theme benefit of Overtake, is just so wonderful. They
are probably one of my favorite minion beasts. I don't know, just this big octopus thing.
Yeah, they're absolutely one of my favorite sculpts.
Yeah.
But I have a thing for tentacles. Sorry to my friend Amber who hates tentacles and won't play this list. But they're just so cool. I have the mini crate one, and it just sits on a shelf because the base model is so good.
I don't remember. Oh, didn't it look like Ursula the Sea Witch or something?
Kind of.
I forget what the mini crate one. Yeah.
It looks like what's her name? The Naga boss from World of Warcraft.
Okay.
All right, back to you.
And here I go. Yep. There we go. Powering up. It's my favorite thing about Warmachine, specifically over Hordes. It's the fear mechanic breaks my brain too much. I just far prefer Warjacks and powering up and that kind of stuff. So yeah, can pretty much just upkeeping all the spells.
Now he has basically the Warmachine version of Battle Host, right?
Correct. Well, yes, he's got a escort.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, right.
So he's got that armor bonus being close to his jack and that nice little speed.
Yeah, Field Marshal unyielding, so that's pretty legit. And then for all of his jacks, and then he gets a bonus too for hanging out nearby thanks to escort. So I think this is I was really trying to figure out how to take out the two primals because they're kind of they are the stuff like right in front, but you really have to kind of take care of them before you continue.
No, they're armor 19 with 18 boxes, which is tough but not unheard of. But
no, you could take them out, but you have to devote some resources to do it.
Well, they also have that shadow bind, so if you don't deal with them, anything that gets placed near them, it shuts down certain abilities. They're easier to hit next turn.
Yeah, They're just kind of a pain in the rear in general.
They got the counter charge with the knockdown. It's, you know, whether you kill them or whether you just engage them or something, you do have to deal with them.
Right. Yeah. I think I was trying to determine whether or not to use my feat this turn as well. Ideally with Magnus, if you're like, you know, living the dream, playing in the sprinklers, whatever your analogy, you want to like lock down the enemy out of a zone and use his feat to like restrict their movement so that they can't score. So in theory, you get ahead of them in points. Was not seeing an avenue to do that at this point, but you know, still, it sometimes is useful to use the feat just for like attrition purposes and stuff. So
yeah, you use it right, you can get basically 2 alphas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Clearly lots of deep thoughts going at this point. So
well, you've got who's your guy with the 2 swords there?
Savio Acosta, yeah. He's and he has bullet dodger on him, so he's kind of like base defense 17 with dodge. He's not the best. I think he only has like 5 boxes. He's not tough. I think his armor's maybe 15 or so. So he's easy to take out, but 17 defense is pretty legit. And, you know, he's like a Mat 9, power 15 weapon master or some nonsense with like 2 sword attacks or something. So I knew I wanted to get him up, and you know, I kind of use him as like a throwaway missile. He's kind of expensive, but I mean, he usually can take some stuff down.
There's glass cannons, and then there's glass bullets. And he's
exactly.
Definitely a glass bullet, and then he explodes, and the shards kill whatever he was aimed at.
Yeah, that's the plan typically. So yeah. This was kind of oh, here we go. I'm starting. Yeah.
Tying him up, ran that counter charge.
Yeah. I was afraid of the counter charge, so I was trying to lock people up with Boomhowler here. That's one of the things they're good at. You don't really take Boomhowler to like actually kill things. It's more just like, you know. Yeah, there we go. I think I did a little bit of damage to your guy.
You planked him a little
Something like that. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. So, wasn't expecting much.
I think that was 5 damage. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. For Boomhowler, good deal. You know?
That's almost a third of his health.
Exactly. I believe Boomhowler himself is the model that's hiding right behind the building there, you know? Like
we're going into battle, men. I'll be over here.
Yeah. I'll just be right here. You guys handle it. Yeah.
It's fine. You got this. I've trained you well.
Ragman coming up, putting his death field. It would have been nice to get him out in the front, but I was not able to move him up just there.
Oh, here comes that
But
charge.
I am using the death field on Savio himself, which makes him pretty ridiculous. I think he's a power 16 or 17 weapon master at that point with 2 attacks. Yeah.
I think that's still a hit. That was a 14 on the dot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think you one-shot him. Yeah, there goes the tough check. It does not pan out.
Yeah.
He just looks at his second sword like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Savio came ready to play, essentially. And this is the
Revenge of the Jack.
Yeah, the broken down Talon valiantly trying to skewer the primal in front of him. Not doing a whole heck of a lot, but you know.
Gas tanks.
I think I missed a couple times. Yeah. Yeah. I think
he did a little damage.
He did a little bit. It was all right. He's a Talon. It's like, what do you expect?
He ends up leaving him on like 3 health actually, which is not
really?
bad.
Yeah. No, yeah. Rover coming up to introduce the primal to his battle axe there.
They will be good friends by the end of his activation.
Yeah, for sure. Shoot him with his gun too. I believe he does have gunfighter or whatever the one that lets you can shoot in the combat as part of your as part of your primaries.
Point blank, which is the one that lets it. It basically turns the ranged weapon into a melee weapon. So
exactly.
it uses. Yeah. I think it uses your mat. It counts for any buffs. You know, Battle Lust would work on it.
Right. It's a power 14. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not awesome.
It's respectable. You know. It's better than a lot of Jack's shields.
For sure.
I mean, it is your shield. Your shield just has a gun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, taking some swings.
Right.
I think I did have...
That's that tough check. He's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't pay off the second time.
There
it goes.
All right. Good deal. All in all, I was pretty satisfied with the Rover this game. It did what it's supposed to do. Not so much the shield guard, but you weren't exactly lighting the world on fire with your... Outside of Scythe, with you weren't exactly... Didn't have a ton of range attacks going on. So
you had Scythe. You had her buddy on the camel horse tom thing over there.
That thing was cool, actually.
Yeah.
I was impressed with that. I did not realize it was armor piercing.
You know,
until I got shot.
They're
with
really good. Their downside is they are only Mat 7, which isn't bad. But if you're trying to bring a ranged attack like that as like a solo hunter, it's not quite good enough for some of those defensive 14s.
Right.
But again, signs importance.
Fixes a lot of problems for sure.
They also used to be 6 points before the update, and now they're 4, which is pretty good. You know.
That's
speed
that's
9, range 12, repo 5. They can just hang out and back and just plink stuff all game.
Did you requisition that one, or do you remember?
I didn't. I used to all the time.
It's only 4
when
points.
6
now.
points.
Yeah.
Now I just wreck something else.
Gotcha.
Playing rock paper scissors there for a second. Oh no, we were air traffic controllers because you're using your feet now. So you had selected the
feet is out. Yeah.
the bottom of the board from our perspective here. And I believe your side.
My side. Yeah. So it was like an L-shaped kill box. Yeah. My side of the table and like you said, the south side of the board, let's say. I thought that left me in a reasonably good position. So I don't know. I didn't see a lot of avenues where you'd be able to come back at me terribly well. So I thought that was good.
You know what it really did to me, which we'll see in my turn coming up, is all my stuff is so bricked up in the middle there. And the hardest part was trying to get them
order of activation.
Yeah, get them past each other so that they can buff and just get out of the way.
Yeah, Magnus's feat is awesome for that. So there we go.
I think he took a couple shots at something.
Yeah, it was Ailish Garrity. He zapped with your spell, and then he teleported himself behind the house.
Right at that Void Archon.
Exactly. And then I have the Buccaneer and what's his name? Cross attempting to do the same thing. Unfortunately, you're immune to knockdown, which I find wildly unfair. But so the Buccaneer's of limited use at this point, except for contesting the table quarter or the zone.
Is the Void Archon immune to knockdown?
I believe they all are. All the floaty ones are because he flies or whatever. I think he's immune to knockdown. Or at least that's what I was thinking. If I wasn't, then I really messed myself up. That's for sure.
Let me see. I've got him right here. You are correct. Divine Manifestation.
Okay.
Not a living model, no knockdown, and can't be blind.
Yeah, I knew that was a thing. Yeah. There we go. He's taking some shots over on the side with the Nis, I believe.
Yep.
Getting the Renegade in position.
Took out my horsey camel.
Yeah, indeed. This is where I'm going to try to put the Renegade's rocket somewhere useful, try to knock down some stuff, cause some further movement issues.
I'm sweating at this point. You take out Barnabas, you take out my Soul Slave, or it goes the other direction and hits Scythe. Those are all bad scenarios.
There's some important stuff on that side of the board. I was happy if anything got taken out, so I was just kind of lobbing a rocket in and seeing where it happens. But you have wrecked the system on it, so pretty much there's no chance of a direct hit. So I kind of had to hope for a good drift, which I did not get. I overshot by way back there. So, oh well. C'est la vie.
It's like the action movie explosion right behind them as they're walking forward.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm sure they did not look at the explosion when it landed.
All right, so I'm boxed in here. I've got that L-shaped kill box. Scythe is out of it, so I'm trying to figure out what damage she can do. What else I can get up on you. You know, I have these swamp horrors, which have a 4-inch reach with that pole, and so I'm fairly confident here that I can get at least one of them. That's kind of why I positioned them where I was, because you know, if you pick either side of the board, one of them can move in. And so my thought is that one on the left could move if you pick the other side, and this purple one can ghostly right through the house and get on you. What I do not realize at this point in my turn, and you'll see me do a lot of measuring and proxy basing up to what I can get close to that swamp heart to ghostly it, is I can't move towards it. I can't get anything within the 6 inches I need to buff it and give it ghostly, which makes it a lot harder for me to get any work done, because it's kind of in that corner of that house.
Killbox is one of those feats where you can sort of accidentally cause a lot of problems for your opponent, you know? Like, it just, there's a lot of repercussions to not being able to move certain ways, basically.
Yeah, so this is me measuring for that.
Yeah.
That soul slave.
For your shenanigans.
Yep. Not realizing that he can't even move towards that side of the board.
A lot of strategery going on at this point. This is an important turn for you, honestly. So, well, you knew what you were trying to do. So,
yeah. So this Void Archon's got some pretty good spray vectors here. The biggest question is if I can get it close enough to tough on your guys. You know, because it's only got that 5-inch reach, and if that's even worth it. Because the other option is he takes the aiming bonus, and then maybe he kills your. What's your swords guy's name again? He's
Savio?
Yeah, Davio. He's sitting at defense 17 or something. So
yeah.
Even if I spend a soul to boost, it's a mat 6, which is right about average. But if he dips below that at all, you know, he won't die.
I mean, you're boosted with Signs Importance, so
That's
I mean
true.
the odds are in your favor, but I mean it's still possible to miss, I suppose. 17's a pretty hard target to hit.
The Signs Important math comes out to about 1.7 on the roll. But the coolest thing about it is that it squishes the bell curve. So your chances of rolling below average are almost nil. It's like 15 to 20%. And then your chances of rolling above average are like 60. It's just, it takes that nice even bell curve shape and it squishes it almost like a slug trying to move really fast.
Nice.
All right, so Sight's going in. She's trying to soften up your caster.
Taking some shots. I'm spending some focus to cancel damage.
Yep. I think I miss one of the 2 shots too, which is a huge chunk of her damage.
Yeah.
She does a little bit though. That ain't bad.
Oh yeah, I mean if I remember correctly, I don't think I had any focus left on Magnus after she got done shooting, so that's a perfectly fine, outcome for that.
She doesn't kill anything though, so she's kind of stuck there. There's no, there won't be a second turn for her.
Right. She is where she is at this point. You can see Magnus is taking a little damage there. Still holding strong.
So now I'm getting everything out of the way.
Yep.
So
clearing the path.
What I don't realize, and this is something that I was kicking myself for later, that blind walker that I just moved away from my swamp horror, it is an arc node. I could have just moved it back a little bit and gotten that ghostly on that swamp horror, but that's not something I thought of at the time.
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of us.
Oh yeah.
I am 100% certain that I forgot multiple things this game. So,
hey, every rep you get better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So my void has to shift forward to get some of its targets, so it gives up the aiming bonus. It does pretty well in the hits, though.
Oh yeah. I didn't remember you having any difficulty here. Clearly not.
I missed a few guys, but I don't think any of them were.
It wasn't like critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made some tough checks.
Yeah.
Honestly, boom howlers were performed pretty admirably this game, just in general.
They can be very hard to remove.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I killed your swordsman.
Savio is gone. Yeah.
Trying to free up that pole lane. So that corner of the house is a problem for me, but with that 4-inch reach, if I bring the swamp horror back and move it straight to the side there, I can get that pole on Magnus. The issue is if I can't remove those boom howlers. I want to remove one of those boom howlers, but to get that far sideways, I need to overtake off one of them. So here I stare at Dez and Gubbin, and Dez can absolutely kill some of those boom howlers, but if I kill all of them, my plan evaporates. So
because you need to bounce off of one of them.
Exactly.
To get over to the thing.
If I kill all three, I'm done. We do manage to kill that one. What am I using here? I think I'm using that. Is it that Wrestler?
I honestly don't know. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Oh no, I sprayed. I've got Quack and Gub right behind my heavies there, and so he targeted my my blind walker, sprayed through him, corroded my two dudes, but managed to get your boom howler off the board. I think I had to do it on the second spray. That the first one actually missed. All right, so here we go. We're at the end of my movement. I need this overtake.
Yep.
We hit
it's
him.
Like you auto hit because he was knocked down, bounced off.
That 1 inch. He's got 2 tentacles and 1 bite left. Boost to hit. Get him, and he's pulled in.
Yep.
And then here comes the bite.
Chomp.
I think I missed it.
I marked some damage down.
I gotta boost my last tentacle. And that's the game.
Yeah, that was that.
another sailor eaten by a terror from the sea.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
All right, well, thank you both for coming on the channel and having a very thematic match. I'm always a fan of minions, and I'm actually just now getting into mercs. I want to thank Mike for lending me some pirates. I'm having fun playing them, and you guys just share some thoughts about your game.
It was it was a good game. I don't consider myself the best scenario player, but I love assassination lists, and Jaga, the swamp horrors and those overtake vectors are, I think, the real strength and win condition of the list I was playing.
She unlocks that. She unlocks that for sure. Like that's definitely a live victory condition for Jaga-Jaga list. So absolutely.
That kill box though, it made me work for it.
Magnus, on the other hand, he is more of a scenario caster. That's kind of his bag. I don't know in this thing that I set myself up very well to win on scenario, even if I hadn't gotten assassinated necessarily. Mostly I was trying to just trade out some pieces and kind of put myself in a better position for later on. Ultimately, though, didn't count on the getting lassoed by a tentacle and dragged in and chopped up, but what are you going to do?
4 inches is quite a lot.
It's one thing to know that that's a thing, and it's another to actually play on the board and see it happen. I had not really had a ton of experience with that particular war beast, so it is interesting because assassination could just come out of nowhere from that. So
all right, well, it was a real pleasure to play you. I have high opinions of my own ability to convert models in interesting ways, but when I see an army as beautiful of yours, it's a very humbling experience. Your Nis hunters, your boom howlers are, oh my god, it's so nice to sit down at a table with your army just because I get to look at them for the next 2 hours.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. I will say, like when an opponent starts off the compliments by complimenting your army as opposed to your tactical acumen, that doesn't necessarily speak well to the actual game that you played. But I'll take it. I'm good.
Good kill box too. There you go.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming on the channel. Pete, it's always a pleasure having you. Mike, your models are amazing as always. So they're always great to look at. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anytime. It's a wonderful experience to be part of this, and I hope to see all our viewers again.
Thank you for watching. If there are any factions, warcasters, or warlocks you would like to see on the channel or any general feedback, please let us know in the comments below. See you on the next Tried and True Battle Report.